So I can't pitch, but Paul Skenes sure as bleep can. Oh, my God. All right, here we are. This guy can't make another start for AAA Indianapolis. It is time. We said it, I think, yesterday, before the show, before Paul Skenes took the mound. May 10th. Get him up here May 10th. 2 more starts at Indianapolis. Man, he's got nothing left to prove. I'm there. I've been on board mostly with them bringing this guy on slowly. But Paul Skenes last night for Indianapolis goes 6 innings. That's nice. 4 hits. Gives up only his second extra base hit in 23 innings. He gives up 0 earned, 1 walk. Get your control under control, Paul. 7 strikeouts. But here's the big number. 75 pitches. Here's another big number. 53 strikes. His ERA, 0.39. And here's the pitches per start for Paul Skenes. 44, 46, 55, 65, 71, 75. It is time. 23 innings, 41 strikeouts, 1 earned run, so a .39 ERA, a .87 whip. He's thrown 89 pitches at 100 miles an hour plus. Doran, he's got nothing left to prove. It's time.
I don't want to get too deep right now, but I think that everybody in life, and especially athletes, everybody needs a challenge. Everybody needs to be challenged, whenever you're competing, at least. And I watched the pitches. I watched, the highlights of the pitches last night in Paul Skenes, and I saw something that I identify in athletes. He's bored. He's starting to get bored. Seriously.
I know.
He's starting to get bored. And it's a fine line whenever, especially you have a young player that you're trying to develop, that it's not challenging anymore. You have to keep them engaged. He has to be engaged. He has to be thinking. He has to be operating at a high level. And whenever somebody like that is bored, you do risk regression. Because they're just, okay, my mechanics, maybe, okay, I'm bored. I'm out here, going
through the motions.
Going through the motions. It's time now. That is why you pay managers. That's why you pay GMs. That's why you pay, people running teams, is to know situations like that. You don't want, he doesn't need to be there anymore. He needs to have a challenge.
Yep.
And it's time.
Yep.
And you could see that in his face. You could see that almost a little bit in his body language. Every time he would throw a strike or strike somebody out, he would walk to his left, walk off, kind of with his head down. Now, that's just his demeanor, probably. But you could just tell. So he's like, all right, strike
what
this
more
guy
do
out.
I need to show?
What more do I need to show? I need a challenge.
Yeah.
And the challenge is coming up to the big leagues. That's what he needs.
They cannot touch him at the AAA level. They cannot touch him. And the thing that I said that was unpopular on the text line, the phone lines, and on Twitter was he needs to be more efficient. Before they get him up here, he needs to show that he can go through 6 innings and have a reasonable pitch count. Because it was 3 innings and 65 pitches not too long ago, 3 1/3 innings, 55 pitches. Give us a little bit more efficiency than that. 75 pitches through 6 innings, 53 strikes. He has now found that consistency. He has now been a guy that can be efficient. That was the last thing I needed to see. And we heard from Paul Skenes. He joined Pony Muller. He was on the Pat McAfee show. We also heard from Ben Cherington. He was working on his pitch mix earlier, too. So the guy we saw last night, from what I understand, was the guy that you would see up here. He was just trying to get people out. The guy he was in the previous start was, I'm not going to throw as many fastballs. I'm going to mix other pitches in. And they still couldn't hit him. He did give up a run. Ooh. But it kind of makes sense. The only run he gave up was when he wasn't just going out there doing his darndest to get dudes out. But, I'm going to throw this pitch.
Yeah.
I'm going to work in and out. I got this I need to work on. I got this I need to work on. No. Now he's arrived. Totally arrived. And here's where I don't want to get ahead of myself, man. But I'm going to. Garrett Cole pitched 200 innings of minor league baseball. 200 innings. His ERA sat just under 3. Steven Strasburg. he had more of a Paul Skenes rise to Major League Baseball. He only pitched in 11 games, made 11 starts at AAA. He threw 55 innings, and his ERA was in the mid-ones. Paul Skenes was significantly better than Garrett Cole and Steven Strasburg in minor league baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the sample size, like I said, for those dudes is bigger,
Mm-hmm.
but maybe it's because it had to be bigger, because Garrett Cole had things to work on. Steven Strasburg, they wanted to be careful with. 11 starts is not a lot at the AAA level, so they fast-tracked him. Paul Skenes was better than both of those guys. Like, the sky is the limit for this dude. He could come in, and again, I don't want to get ahead of myself. He could come in and maybe be one of the best pitchers in baseball like that.
Yeah.
Like, you talk about being bored. 0.39 ERA, significantly better than Strasburg. Significantly better than Garrett Cole. Like, this guy could come up. Those dudes came in and were good from the get-go. We know what Garrett Cole did in his first summer with the Pirates. He was outstanding. Steven Strasburg came up to the bigs and was outstanding. Paul Skenes was better than those guys. Why wouldn't he be outstanding?
Right.
He's going to be the ace of the staff, and I know Jared Jones has been remarkable. He's going to be the ace of the staff day one. So you got to get him up here. Now, he should not ever, rehab assignments maybe, he should never again have to pitch in AAA, in minor league baseball. He has proven he is worthy.
There's a fine line between, as we said before, between, the team knowing a player and risking them getting bored and giving them challenges. But there's also a fine line for the Pirates, too, that we need to talk about.
Yes, we do.
There's a fine line with the Pirates of keeping people engaged. And you need to stop the bleeding ASAP if you're the Pittsburgh Pirates. And this is the way to do it. This is the opportunity right now to really just kind of put that centerpiece right there where you need it, so you could possibly stop some bleeding and also hit different angles of what you want to accomplish as a ball club this year.
Mm-hmm.
And especially with a 1-1 pitcher that everybody's excited about.
Yeah, man. I had thought, and we talked about this before, that the win-loss record of the big league club shouldn't matter for Paul Skenes. If Paul Skenes is ready, when he's ready, you call him up. Well, he's ready now, but I think if you were going to let him make one more start in AAA, what's happening now with the big league club should affect it. Absolutely, it should, for two reasons. One, like you said, you need to win baseball games. They are embarrassing this city right now in Oakland. They are. They can't hit. They've lost 2 games to the lowly A's that really don't have a home. There's 3,000 people in the ballpark. They've lost these games by a combined score of 10-3. Get the big dog up here and try to win some baseball games. And I realize he ain't going to be hitting, and that's their biggest problem right now. Believe me, that's not lost on me. But he's going to help them win when he gets up here. Get him up here for that. But get him up here, too, to punch this city in the face with excitement, because the Pirates are in last place. They started the season 9-2. They're in last freaking place. And they're on the West Coast, and they're kind of an afterthought right now because no one can watch these games. Do you want people to be excited about the Pittsburgh Pirates? Because we were when they were 9-2. We were when they were 20-8 last year. There are legitimate reasons, or were, coming into the season for optimism. I didn't think Skenes needed to be the only thing to get people to come to the ballpark. Right now, he might be.
Right.
So from a business standpoint,
if you're Travis Williams,
yes,
who we talked to yesterday, I mean, I am pounding on the door of Bob Nutting, saying, like, we need this.
Yeah, you make the call, Bob. Let's go.
Yes. We need this. It's time to go. Charrington, we all need to sit down. Shelton, Charrington, Williams, and Nutting. Like, we need this right now. The guy is ready. I'm not making any baseball decisions if I'm Travis Williams. Obviously, I'm here to bring in revenue and create engagement for the ball club and the ballpark. And this is the way to do it right now before we lose people and disengage people that would be disengaging from our team. Mm-hmm. This is the way to stop that right now. We have to do it now. He is ready physically, mentally, and he's going to sell. He is going to sell no matter what.
Print the jerseys now. Print the jerseys now. And from a business standpoint and a winning baseball game standpoint, you can get him 2 starts coming up in this next homestand. We had earmarked May 10th against the Chicago Cubs on a Friday night at 6:40 p.m. Actually, now as I look at the probable pitchers, it's going to be Jared Jones against Jamison Tyone. Can you imagine Paul Skenes, if he were to go on that Friday against Jamison Tyone? Oh, my God. The whole world comes full circle. Time is a flat circle there. The number one prospect for the Pirates for so long going up against Paul Skenes, that's just unbelievable. Even if it's Jones, that's a really cool story. Anyhow, I digress. You've got an off day tomorrow. So they'll take on Oakland today, 3:37 p.m. You can hear it on our brother station, KDKA AM. You got 3 against Colorado. You got 3 against Los Angeles. You got 3 against Chicago, all at home. Because there's the off day, you can pitch him on Sunday against Colorado, or you can pitch him on Monday against Los Angeles. Do it. Please do it. And then he would line up to pitch again in that Chicago series. The Pirates are going to play 10 straight games against National League Central opponents. And like I just said, they're in the basement now. You can get him 2 times in this homestand if you let him make his Major League debut against LA or against Colorado. It's smart from a business standpoint. You get 2 huge crowds you would think at PNC Park to see this guy pitch, and it makes a ton of sense to stop the bleeding. You get your number one pitcher. That's what he is. Up here to the bigs as fast as you can because he's got nothing else to prove. Let's go. It is time. People are texting in. When do you think he'll make the debut? I think it's going to be
Sunday.
I think it's going to be either Sunday or Monday, yeah. And it could be either one, like I said, because they've got the off day. They might want to give him the extra day of rest. I wouldn't blame him for that. Let him go Monday against LA. And then that would put him in turn to go 1, 2, 3, 4. He could pitch the last game of the Chicago series, or he could pitch the first game of the Milwaukee series. Actually, Milwaukee's on the road, so they might do Sunday against Colorado, and then you'll go against Chicago in the final game of that series. Let's go. It's time. It's time. I mean, when you're comparing him to Steven Strasburg and Garrett Cole's minor league numbers, and he is significantly better than those guys, he's only got so many innings in the arm. Ben Cherington's talked about that. He should not throw a single pitch, not at the big league level now. He's got an innings cap. Let's get him up here and get it going right now. The next pitch for Paul Skenes needs to be in a Pittsburgh Pirates uniform.